There is a strange and quiet feeling that settles in sometimes, soft as dust on a forgotten windowsill. It is the feeling of watching a film in which you have a minor part. You are there in the scene. You are dressed for the occasion. You are standing in the right place. But the camera, the light, the story itself, it all glides past you. It is focused on someone else, someone whose lines are clear and whose actions drive the plot forward. You are the gentle blur in the background, the soft shape that gives the frame depth, but whose own story remains untold. You are essential to the scenery, but not to the narrative. And perhaps, for a very long time, that has felt safe. It has felt simple. But what if the story isn't happening out there? What if the main character wasn't someone else at all, but has simply been waiting, quietly, patiently, just off screen, for their cue? Over the next while, we will explore this feeling together. We will walk through the scenery of the sidelines and understand the beautiful, quiet stillness of that observation post. We will gently turn the camera of our attention, not with force, but with the slow, deliberate grace of a sunflower turning to face the morning sun. We will begin to hear our own inner monologue, not as a reaction to others, but as the central, guiding voice of our own experience. So now, just settle in. Wherever you are, in whatever quiet hour you have found for yourself, allow this time and this space to be entirely your own. Feel the place where you are resting. Notice the weight of your body, the gentle pull of gravity holding you securely to the earth. Feel the points of contact, your head on the pillow, your shoulders against the mattress, the weight of a blanket resting upon you. There is no need to change anything or adjust anything. Simply notice. This physical presence, right here, right now, is the first and most undeniable truth of your own story. You are here. You are occupying space. Your body is the stage, and for this moment, there is no one else on it. Let's begin with the breath. Not a special breath, not a deep or controlled breath, but just the simple, effortless rhythm that has been with you all day, in the background of every scene. Notice the air as it enters, cool and new, and notice it as it leaves, warm and soft. This breath is the quiet, constant soundtrack to your existence. It doesn't ask for applause. It doesn't need to be the center of attention. It simply is, and in its being, it sustains everything. It is the most profound main character, the silent engine of your entire world. As you rest here, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your chest or your abdomen, you are connecting with the undeniable center of your own life. Let's return to that feeling of being in the background. See if you can invite it in without judgment. It is a familiar cloak, perhaps a comfortable one. There is a certain peace in not being the focus. There are no expectations. There is no pressure to perform. From the sidelines, you can see everything so clearly. You see the vibrant colors of other people's lives. You hear the sharp clarity of their dialogue. You witness their triumphs and their struggles. You have become a professional observer, a connoisseur of other people's stories. And this is a skill. It is a form of empathy, of quiet understanding. It is a strategy born of wisdom, perhaps a way to keep yourself safe, to avoid conflict, to allow others the space they seem to need. There is no shame in this role. It has served a purpose. It has been a quiet harbor in a sometimes stormy sea. But a harbor is a place to rest, not a place to live forever. The ship is meant to sail. The story is meant to be told. The character is meant to step into the light. And the journey from the background to the foreground does not begin with a grand gesture or a dramatic monologue. It begins right here in the quiet dark. It begins with the simple, revolutionary act of turning your attention inward. It begins with noticing the feeling of the sheets against your skin. It begins with hearing the quiet hum of the room around you. It begins by acknowledging that your experience in this very moment is the most important story being told in the entire universe, because it is the only one that is truly yours. Feel the air on your skin. Is it cool? Is it warm? Can you feel a subtle movement, or is it perfectly still? This tiny sensory detail. This is a line from your script. This is a sentence in your novel. This is a close-up shot of your experience. Other stories may be louder. They may be filled with more dramatic events. But they are not this story. They are not the story of you. Resting here, breathing, feeling, and beginning a gentle, quiet journey back to the center of your own world. The background is dissolving. The set is becoming quiet. And a single, soft light is beginning to find a new subject. It is beginning to find you. And all you have to do, for now, is rest within its gentle warmth. All you have to do is be here and breathe. This is your cue. The scene is beginning, and you are the star. Your story starts now with a simple, peaceful, quiet moment of rest. There is no audience to please, no critic to appease. The only one here is you, the writer, the director, and the lead actor, all in one. And the first act is one of profound and deserved rest. The stage is being set not for a performance, but for an unfolding. A gentle metamorphosis from a character who watches the world go by to the one who is the world itself. The one whose breath moves the tides, whose heartbeat provides the rhythm, whose thoughts color the sky. It all starts with this simple stillness, this permission to simply be. Feel the weight of your eyelids. Feel the softness of your pillow. This is your opening scene, and it is perfect. It is a scene of peace, of safety, of quiet homecoming. The journey inward has begun. Let us rest here for a moment in this quiet place you have created. And from this stillness, let's look out at the world as you have so often seen it. Think of it as a vast and beautiful landscape painting, filled with light and shadow, motion and detail. For a long time, you have been standing at the edge of this canvas, taking it all in. From this vantage point, you have an unparalleled view. You can see the way the light catches the golden hair of a laughing friend, turning it into a halo for a fleeting second. You hear the deep, resonant tones of a confident voice telling a story at a dinner table, and you notice how everyone else leans in, captivated by the tale. Their voices are the foreground sounds, crisp and clear. Your own is part of the ambient noise, the gentle hum that makes the silence feel full. From the sidelines, you become a master of noticing. You see the subtle shift in someone's posture when they are about to share good news. You notice the tiny, fleeting expression of disappointment on a face before it is quickly masked with a smile. You are the keeper of these quiet, overlooked details. You witness the world with a painter's eye, appreciating the composition, the balance of color and form. The lives of others appear so vibrant, so saturated with color. Their joys are a brilliant, dazzling scarlet. Their sorrows, a deep and profound indigo. Their love stories are painted in strokes of rose and gold. And your own life? Perhaps it has felt like the soft, muted tones of the background, the gentle grays, the earthy browns, the hazy blues of the distant mountains. Necessary for the composition? Yes. They provide contrast. They allow the brighter colors to shine, but they do not draw the eye. This is the scenery of the sidelines. It is a world viewed through a particular lens. Imagine the focus of a camera. In every great shot, there is a subject that is sharp, clear, and detailed. Everything else, the foreground and the background, falls away into a beautiful, soft blur. This effect is called bokeh. It is the art of the out of focus. And perhaps you have felt as though you are living in the bokeh of someone else's photograph. You are the gentle, circular lights in the background, the soft, indistinct shapes that suggest a world is there, but whose own form is never truly defined. There is a certain dreamlike quality to this state. When you are out of focus, your edges are soft. You blend into your surroundings. You are not a sharp, jarring object, but a part of the seamless whole. There's a strange comfort in this lack of definition. A sharp edge can cut. A clearly defined form can be a target, but a soft, blurry shape, it can simply be. It can exist without demand, without expectation. It can flow and shift with the scene, a current in the water rather than a stone resisting the flow. Feel into that for a moment. The feeling of having soft edges, the feeling of not needing to be sharply defined. Your breath is soft. The air around you is soft. The darkness behind your eyelids is soft. Here, in this gentle blur, nothing is asked of you. And there is a profound safety in this quiet observation post. Think of a watchtower, high on a hill, overlooking a bustling town. From the tower, you can see the entire story unfold. You see the baker light his ovens in the pre-dawn dark. You see lovers meeting secretly in the town square. You see the merchants haggling and the children playing. You see it all. You understand the rhythms of the town, its secrets, its patterns. You are the wisest person of all because you see the whole picture. But you are not in the fray. You are not caught in the arguments of the marketplace. Your heart is not broken by the lover's quarrel. Your hands are not burned by the baker's oven. You are safe. You are untouched. The stillness of your tower is your sanctuary. This role, the role of the observer, the background character, it is not a weakness. It is a fortress you built for yourself, with walls made of silence and windows made of careful watching. And it has kept you safe. It has allowed you to survive. It has given you a unique perspective, a deep well of empathy and understanding that those in the center of the fray may never possess. They are too busy acting out their scenes to notice the subtle beauty of the entire stage. But you have seen it all. You have cataloged the dust motes dancing in the sunbeams. You have memorized the sound of rain on the roof. You have felt the collective sigh of a room when a story reaches its conclusion. These are the treasures of the quiet observer. So as you lie here, breathing gently, allow yourself to honor this part of you. The part that knew how to become still. The part that learned to watch and to listen. The part that found safety in the shadows and wisdom in the quiet. Thank it for its service. It has been a masterful protector. It has guarded your heart with unwavering vigilance. It has wrapped you in a cloak of invisibility when the world felt too bright, too loud, too demanding. It has allowed you to rest, even while standing in a crowded room. But the play is changing. The lighting is shifting. And the watchtower, which was once a fortress, can now become a lighthouse. Not a place to hide, but a place from which your own light can begin to shine. For now, just rest in the stillness it has provided you. Feel the deep, profound peace of the sidelines. The performance is over for the night. The audience has gone home. The stage is quiet. And here, in the gentle, empty theater, you can finally hear the sound of your own, soft breathing. The true main character at rest. As we rest in this quiet stillness, let's gently pull the thread of this feeling a little further. Where did it begin? This instinct to step back, to cede the main role. There is no need to dig for a painful memory, no need to force an answer. Let's just be curious, with the gentle, open curiosity of someone watching clouds drift across the sky. We are not born as background characters. Watch any small child. They are the undeniable center of their own universe. Their needs, their joys, their sorrows are epic dramas played out in real time. They cry, and the world rushes to comfort them. They laugh, and the world laughs with them. They are the sun, and everyone else is a planet in their orbit. They do not apologize for taking up space. They do not worry if their voice is too loud. Their story is the only story, and they tell it with their whole being. So, somewhere along the way, we learn a different script. We learn to become the ghostwriter of our own life. A ghostwriter is a fascinating figure. They are the true author, the one with the skill, the voice, the ideas. But their name never appears on the cover. They write the beautiful prose, the compelling plot, the unforgettable dialogue, and then they hand it over for someone else to claim as their own. They do the work, and another receives the credit. Why would anyone choose such a role? The reasons are always practical, and often rooted in a deep sense of wisdom and survival. Perhaps the ghostwriter needs the money, but not the fame. Perhaps they understand that their words will be heard by more people if they are attached to a more famous name. Perhaps they simply enjoy the act of creation without any need for the applause that follows. And so it is with us. We learn to ghostwrite our own lives for very good reasons. Think about it. Perhaps you learned that keeping your thoughts to yourself was a way to maintain peace in your family. If your opinion might lead to conflict, it was safer, kinder even, to simply remain silent. You handed the pen to someone else, letting them write the dialogue for the scene. You became a master of the agreeable nod, the quiet smile. This wasn't a failure. It was a strategy for harmony. It was an act of love, in its own way. You prized the calm of the home over the assertion of your own narrative. Or perhaps you learned that fading into the background was a way to feel safe at school or at work. If you don't draw attention to yourself, you can't be criticized. You can't be teased. You can't be targeted. The spotlight can be a harsh and unforgiving place. The shadows, by contrast, are cool and gentle. By becoming a background character, you cleverly avoided the slings and arrows of judgment. You let the more confident, more outspoken characters take the lead, and you watched from the safety of the wings. This wasn't cowardice. It was a brilliant form of self-preservation. It was the wisdom of the chameleon blending in to avoid the predator. Maybe you learned to cede the main role as a way to please others, to make them feel important and loved. You became an expert at asking questions, at listening intently, at celebrating their accomplishments. You learned that your greatest value, it seemed, was in your ability to be a perfect audience for someone else's show. You saw their face light up when you reflected their own greatness back at them. And that felt good. It felt like connection. It felt like you had a purpose. You were the steadfast, supporting character, the loyal friend, the one who could always be counted on to listen and applaud. This wasn't a surrender of self. It was an offering, a gift of your attention, your energy, your focus. It was a strategy for connection. These are not failings. Let that sink in for a moment. These strategies of keeping the peace, of ensuring safety, of fostering connection are born of intelligence and sensitivity. They are the work of a mind and a heart that learned how to navigate a complex world. You wrote a script for yourself based on the evidence you gathered. The script said, "My role is to support. My safety lies in being unseen. My value is in making others feel valued." And for a long time, you have been following that script with incredible dedication. You have played the part so well that you may have even forgotten that you were the one who wrote it in the first place. You forgot that you are the author, not just the actor. But a script that is written for one act of a play is not meant to last for the entire show. A strategy that helps a sapling survive a storm is not the same strategy that allows a great tree to reach for the sun. The protective shell that guards a seed is meant to be broken when it is time for the seed to grow. The strategies that have kept you safe and have helped you navigate your world have now served their purpose. They have brought you here, to this moment of quiet reflection. And here, in this safe space, we can acknowledge that the script can be revised. The story can take a new direction. As you rest here, breathing in and out, just hold this idea gently. The role you have been playing was not a mistake. It was not a sign of weakness. It was a masterpiece of adaptation. It was a protective strategy that has now reached its graceful conclusion. You can thank the ghostwriter within you for their diligent work. You can thank the quiet observer for their vigilance. You can thank the supporting character for their loyalty and love. They have all played their parts beautifully, and now they can take a rest. They can go backstage, because a new character is waiting in the wings, ready to step forward. A character that has been there all along, waiting for the script to be updated. The main character, the protagonist, you, and the story is just beginning. In the quiet theater of your mind, as the previous actors take their rest, a gentle stillness descends. The stage is empty for a moment, and in this emptiness, we can begin to feel something subtle, something that was always present but was drowned out by the dialogue of others. It is the weight of an unwritten story. Think of a beautiful, old, leather-bound book. The cover is ornate. The paper is thick and creamy, edged in gold. It is a book of immense quality, promising an epic tale. But when you open it, the pages are empty. Page after page of pristine, untouched paper, waiting for ink that has never come. The book has a physical weight. You can feel its substance in your hands, but it is also heavy with a different kind of weight. The weight of potential, the ache of unexpressed words. This is the quiet cost of invisibility. It is the silent ache of unexpressed thoughts, unseen actions, and unheard desires. Every time you had an idea but kept it to yourself, a word was left unwritten. Every time you felt a surge of joy but tempered it to match the mood of the room, a vibrant illustration was left unpainted. Every time your heart whispered a deep desire but you dismissed it as impractical or selfish, a crucial chapter was left completely blank. It is not a loud, dramatic pain. It is a quiet, persistent ache, a hollowness, The feeling of a house with many beautiful, furnished rooms where no one ever lives. The music is written, but the orchestra never plays. Let's explore this feeling not with judgment, but with gentle compassion. It is the natural consequence of holding oneself back. Imagine you are holding a beach ball underwater. At first, it doesn't take much effort, but the longer you hold it down, the more energy it requires. Your muscles begin to tense. Your focus narrows. You are constantly applying a subtle downward pressure to keep it from surfacing. Living as a background character requires a similar, constant, low-level effort. The effort of suppression. The tension of holding yourself in. You may not even notice you are doing it anymore. It has become as automatic as breathing. But the tension is there, stored in the body. Let's see if we can find it, not to force it away, but simply to acknowledge its presence. We will do a simple breathing exercise. As you continue to rest comfortably, bring your awareness to your breath. There is no need to change it. Just follow the natural rhythm of your body. Now, as you breathe in, I want you to imagine you are breathing into all the spaces within you that have felt held back. Breathe into the thoughts you never spoke. Breathe into the feelings you never showed. Breathe into the dreams you put on a shelf. Imagine your breath is a warm, gentle light, filling these quiet, empty spaces. And now, as you breathe out, I want you to make the exhale just a little bit longer, a little bit slower than the inhale. You don't have to force it. Just let it release gently, like a slow sigh of relief. With each long, slow exhale, imagine you are releasing a tiny fraction of that old tension. The tension of holding that beach ball under the water. The pressure of keeping the story unwritten. Let's try that together for a few moments. A natural, easy inhale, and a long, slow, gentle exhale. Inhale, breathing in space and awareness. Exhale, releasing the subtle effort of holding back. With every breath out, feel your shoulders softening, dropping away from your ears. Feel the tiny muscles around your eyes relaxing. Feel your jaw unclench. These are the places where we physically store our unwritten stories. The tight shoulders that carry the weight of unspoken responsibilities. The clenched jaw that holds back the words we are afraid to say. The furrowed brow that worries about everyone else's plotline. As you breathe, you are not trying to fix anything. You are simply allowing the tension to be there, and then allowing it to soften. You are gently loosening the grip. You are letting the beach ball begin its slow, natural ascent to the surface. The weight of an unwritten story also manifests as a kind of muted color palette in our own experience. When our focus is always on the vibrant lives of others, our own inner world can feel a bit gray, a bit washed out. It's like watching a thrilling movie in a language you don't understand, without subtitles. You can appreciate the cinematography, but the emotional depth is lost to you. When you consistently sideline your own feelings and desires, you lose connection to your own emotional subtitles. You might feel a vague sense of dissatisfaction, but not know why. A low hum of anxiety with no apparent source. This is the sound of your own story knocking gently on the door, asking to be heard, asking for the pages to be filled. So as you continue to rest, as your body becomes heavier and more relaxed with each gentle exhale, let this be a moment of profound acknowledgement. Acknowledge the weight you have been carrying. Acknowledge the effort it has taken. Acknowledge the quiet ache of the empty pages. See it not as a failure, but as a testament to your strength and your sensitivity. It takes immense strength to hold so much inside. Now, you can begin to set that weight down, one breath at a time. The book of your life is still in your hands. The pages are still there, clean and waiting. The ink is not dry, and the story is not over. It is just waiting for the author to pick up the pen. And the first word you will write is a word of release, a word of softening, a word spoken with a long, slow, peaceful breath out. The pen is in your hand now. The book of your life lies open before you, its pages clean and expectant. After releasing the gentle weight of what has been unwritten, there is a space, a quiet, open field. But how does one begin to write a story that has been silent for so long? The task can feel enormous, like trying to describe the entire sky. So we will not start with the sky. We will not start with a grand opening chapter or a dramatic declaration. We will start with a single, vivid detail. This is the first step in reclaiming your narrative. It is the anchor that moors the ship of self in the vast ocean of experience. We are going to find one small, undeniable thing that is yours and yours alone. Something that exists outside of your relationships, your roles, and your responsibilities to others. A detail from the forgotten kingdom of you. Let your attention drift gently to your hand, the one that is not holding the pen. Just feel its presence as it rests beside you. Can you feel the texture of the fabric beneath it? The temperature of the air upon your skin? Now, without moving it, bring your inner focus to just one fingertip. Perhaps your index finger. Imagine you could zoom in with a powerful magnifying glass, closer and closer, until you could see the unique and intricate pattern etched upon its surface. The whorls, the loops, the arches. This fingerprint is a pattern that has never existed before in the history of the universe and will never exist again. It is a signature of your physical uniqueness printed upon you before you were even born. It is an identity that asks for no validation. It simply is. It is a small, quiet, profound truth. This is you. Let this single, vivid detail be your focal point. Let it be the first word of your reclaimed story. It is not a loud or flashy word. It is a simple, true word. As you focus on the feeling of this one fingertip, notice how the rest of the world seems to fall away. The stories of others, the demands of the day, the worries about tomorrow. They all become the soft, out-of-focus background. And this tiny part of you, this unique curve of your skin, becomes sharp and clear. For this one moment, it is the most important thing in the universe. You have just turned the camera. You have just chosen your subject. And the subject is you. Let's try another detail. Let go of the focus on your fingertip and allow your mind to drift. Search for a secret preference, a silent, simple joy that you have never needed to announce or justify to anyone. Maybe it is the specific shade of green of new moss on a stone. Perhaps it is the feeling of the sun on your skin on the first warm day of spring. Maybe it is the taste of a cold glass of water when you are truly thirsty, or the sound of a distant train in the middle of the night. Choose one. Something small and personal. Something that brings a quiet internal smile, a flicker of recognition. This preference is a part of your story's setting. It is a detail of your inner landscape. It belongs to no one else. You do not have to explain why you love it. You do not need anyone else to agree that it is beautiful or special. Its value comes simply from the fact that you have chosen it. You have noticed it. You have claimed it as your own. Hold this small, secret joy in your awareness. Let it fill your mind for a moment. This is a single, sharp image in a previously blurry self-portrait. Before, the picture of you might have felt hazy, defined only by your relationship to the other, sharper figures in the frame. But now, you have added a point of startling clarity. The specific green of moss. This detail is undeniably yours. It is an anchor of self. The world tells us that our stories should be made of grand events, graduations, weddings, promotions, adventures. But these are just the chapter headings. The true substance of a life, the texture of a soul, is found in these tiny, vivid details. The way you hold your teacup, a particular memory of a childhood hiding place, the feeling of a favorite old sweater against your skin. These details are the building blocks of your narrative. When you start to pay attention to them, you begin to realize that your story has been writing itself all along. You just weren't reading the pages. You were too busy reading everyone else's book. By focusing on a single, vivid detail, you are performing a revolutionary act. You are declaring that the small, the quiet, the personal is worthy of attention. You are taking the spotlight, which has been so often aimed at the grand stage of the world, and you are turning it into a small, precise penlight, illuminating the treasures within your own museum, your fingerprint, your secret joy. This is not selfish, it is essential. An author must know their main character intimately. They must know their quirks, their quiet loves, their unique way of seeing the world. And so, you are simply beginning your research. You are getting to know your protagonist. So as you continue to drift deeper into relaxation, let your mind be a gentle beachcomber, wandering along the shore of your own experience. You are not looking for some grand treasure chest. You are just looking for a single, interesting shell. A piece of sea glass worn smooth by the waves. A curiously shaped stone. Find one more detail now that is undeniably yours. It could be a physical sensation, the feeling of your own heartbeat, a quiet, steady rhythm in the center of your chest. It could be a secret memory, a moment in time that only you hold in exactly that way. Let it come to you without effort. When it arrives, hold it gently in your awareness. This is another word, another sentence, another brushstroke on the canvas. The portrait of you is coming into focus, not all at once, but detail by beautiful, vivid detail, and the story begins. You are holding a single, vivid detail in your awareness, a fingerprint, a secret joy, a quiet memory. This detail is your anchor. It is the solid ground beneath your feet after a long time adrift at sea. Now, feel what happens as you hold your attention here. There is a subtle but profound shift taking place. It is the turning of the inner camera. Imagine, for your whole life, you have been a camera operator on a film set. Your job has been to keep the camera steady, perfectly focused on the lead actors. You have followed their every move, captured their every expression, anticipated their every line. You are incredibly skilled at this. You know how to make others look good. You know the exact angle to capture their best side, the right lighting to make them glow. You have dedicated your energy and your focus to documenting their story, and you have done it flawlessly. The film they are starring in is beautiful, largely thanks to your steady and selfless work behind the lens. But now, in the quiet of this darkened set, after everyone else has gone home, something new is happening. Your hands are still on the camera, but instead of pointing it out at the empty stage where the stars usually stand, you begin to make a change. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, you start to pan. The movement is not sudden or jarring. It is a slow, graceful, deliberate sweep. The lens glides past the spot where the hero delivered his great monologue. It moves past the chair where the leading lady wept. It drifts away from the set pieces and the props that made up their world. The camera is turning. Feel this subtle shift in your own inner world. The lens of your attention, which has for so long been pointed outward, is beginning its gentle, sweeping turn. You can feel the subtle change in the muscles of your mind. It is a new movement, an unfamiliar direction. For a moment, the lens points at nothing in particular, just the empty space of the stage, the quiet shadows in the wings. This is a moment of transition, a space between stories. You are no longer filming them, but you have not yet found your new subject. Rest in this in-between space for a breath. It is a space of pure potential. And then the turn continues. Ever so slowly, the camera keeps panning, past the wings, past the lighting rigs, until it has turned a full 180 degrees. And what does it see now? It sees the camera operator. It sees you. For the first time, the lens is pointed inward. The focus begins to adjust, to shift from the far distance of other people's lives to the immediate, close-up reality of your own. At first, the image might be blurry, unfamiliar. You are so used to looking out that looking in feels strange. But wait, be patient. Let the lens do its work. And then, a detail snaps into focus. That fingerprint, that secret joy, the feeling of your own quiet breath. The camera has found its new subject, and it is you. Feel the sensation of this, the feeling of being seen, not by anyone else, but by yourself. It is a feeling of arrival, a homecoming. The great journey outward into the world of others has been completed, and now the great journey inward begins. The camera does not need to move anymore. It has found its place, here, with you. This turning of the inner camera is the pivotal moment in your story. It is the plot twist, the reveal. And the great reveal is this: the protagonist was never missing. They were not a minor character. They were not lost or gone. They were simply waiting, patiently, off stage, for their cue. They were the one running the entire show from behind the scenes. The writer, the director, the camera operator. And now, they are finally stepping in front of the lens to take on their rightful role as the star. You are not replacing someone else in the spotlight. You are simply claiming the light that was always yours, powered by your own life, your own awareness. Notice the simplicity of this shift. It does not require a fight. It does not require you to push anyone else off the stage. The stage is empty. The theater is quiet. All it requires is this gentle, deliberate turning of your own attention. You are not taking anything away from anyone else. Their films are finished for the day. Their stories will continue tomorrow. But this time, right now, in the sacred quiet of this moment, the studio is all yours. The camera is yours. The story is yours. And the subject is you. As you rest here, feel the lens of your awareness focused on your own inner landscape. What does it see? It sees the gentle rise and fall of your chest. It captures the feeling of warmth in your hands. It notices the soft darkness behind your closed eyelids. These are the opening shots of your film, They are not dramatic. They are quiet, intimate, and deeply authentic. They are scenes of peace, scenes of being. There is no need to perform. There is no need to do anything at all. The camera is not demanding action. It is simply asking to witness. It is content to just watch you breathe, to watch you rest, to watch you be. This act of self-witnessing is profoundly healing. It sends a powerful message to every cell in your body. You matter. Your experience is worthy of attention. You are the center of this story. And the story unfolds from there. The camera of your attention has turned. The lens is now focused inward, patiently witnessing the quiet landscape of your own being. The stage is set, the lighting is soft, and the scene is one of profound peace. Now, in this stillness, let us begin to listen. For so long, the soundtrack of your life has been dominated by the voices of others. Their dialogue, their opinions, their needs, their stories. You have become an expert at listening to them. But what about your own voice? Let us begin the practice of hearing your own inner monologue. There is a constant stream of thought that flows through our minds, a narration. For many of us who have lived as background characters, this inner monologue is largely reactive. It is a voice that is constantly commenting on and responding to the world outside. She seems happy today. I hope he isn't upset with what I said. I need to remember to do that for them. What will they think if I do this? This is the voice of the supporting character, the script of someone whose actions and thoughts are defined by their relationship to the protagonist. It is a voice of calculation, of accommodation, of observation of others. It is a valuable voice, full of social intelligence and empathy. But it is not the only voice you have. Beneath that reactive, outward-facing narrator, there is another voice. It is often much quieter, softer. It is the voice of your own authentic primary experience. It is the voice that says, "I feel warm right now. This melody in my head is beautiful. I am tired. I wonder what is beyond the stars." This voice is not a reaction to anyone else. It is a direct broadcast from the center of your own being. It is the narration of the protagonist. It is the voice that tells the story from the inside out, not the outside in. Reclaiming your story is about learning to turn down the volume on the reactive narrator and turning up the volume on this authentic inner monologue. Let's practice listening for it now. As you lie here in this deep state of relaxation, just begin to notice the thoughts that drift through your mind. Don't try to control them or judge them. Just observe them, like clouds passing in the sky. Some thoughts will be about the past or the future. Some will be about other people. Let those ones drift by. What we are listening for are the thoughts that are purely about your own present moment experience. The thoughts that are simply a narration of your own sensations and feelings, right here, right now. Perhaps a thought arises like, "My foot is tingling." That is it. That is the voice. It is not a judgment. It is not a plan. It is a simple, direct observation from your own experience. Or maybe you hear, "The sound of my own breathing is so peaceful." That is the voice. It is your inner narrator describing your scene. Or perhaps, "I feel a sense of calm spreading through me." Yes, that is it too. This is your inner monologue, the true soundtrack of your film. It has been there all along, but it was whispering so softly that you could barely hear it over the louder dialogue of the external world. Let's focus on the texture of this voice, It is not the voice you use to speak to others. It doesn't have to be polite or cheerful or accommodating. It can be raw and simple and true. It is the sound of your own mind knowing itself. As you listen, give this voice presence and importance. Imagine it is the narration of a beautiful documentary, the kind spoken by someone with a calm, trustworthy, and deeply compelling voice. And the subject of this documentary is the magnificent, unfolding mystery of you. The subject is now experiencing a profound state of rest, the narrator might say. A feeling of heaviness is grounding her limbs. The rhythm of her heart is slow and steady. All is well. You are both the narrator and the subject, the listener and the voice. This is the beautiful, self-contained world of the protagonist. Their story is not dependent on anyone else's validation or input. It is a rich, internal narrative, full of sensory detail and quiet revelation. For a long time, you may have believed that your thoughts were only important if they were shared with someone else, or if they led to some kind of action. You may have dismissed your own inner musings as pointless daydreaming. But they are not pointless. They are the story. They are the rich, inner life of the main character. The plot of a great novel is not just what happens, but what the character thinks and feels about what happens. Your inner monologue is where the real story lives. As you continue to drift, let yourself become more and more absorbed in this inner listening. What do you hear now? Don't strain. Just be open. Maybe there are no words at all, just a feeling, a sense of peace, a feeling of warmth, a color. That is part of the monologue too. The language of the soul is not always made of words. Sometimes it is made of pure sensation, of raw emotion. Your inner narrator is fluent in all these languages. It can speak in feelings, in images, in memories. Your only job is to listen, to give it the attention it has so long deserved. This practice of listening to your own authentic voice is a way of coming home to yourself. It is a way of remembering that you are not just a reflection in someone else's mirror. You are the source. You are the one who is having the experience. By honoring your own inner monologue, you are declaring that your experience is valid, that your thoughts matter, and that your story is worthy of being told, even if the only audience for now is you. That is more than enough. Because when you become a fascinated audience of one for your own life, the entire world begins to listen in a new way. But it all starts here, in the quiet. Just you, listening to you, the most beautiful story ever told. The camera has turned inward. The soundtrack of your own authentic voice is beginning to rise in the mix. Now, let's bring in the light. Imagine your life as a vast, dark stage. It is a beautiful stage, full of potential, with intricate sets waiting in the wings and a rich, velvet curtain hanging heavy and silent. For a long time, there has been a single, powerful spotlight in this theater, and you have been the one operating it. Time her whole 1.5s. From a high perch in the back of the theater, you have controlled this beam of light with immense skill and dedication. You have learned how to aim it perfectly, to follow the movements of the actors on stage, to keep them bathed in a warm, brilliant glow so that the audience never misses a moment of their performance. You have illuminated their triumphs, followed them through their darkest scenes, and held the light steady for their final bow. Your attention has been the energy that powers this light. Your focus has been the lens that gives it shape and clarity. The light of your awareness, your energy, your love has been a gift you have given freely to others, helping their stories shine brightly. And where have you been all this time? You have been in the control booth, in the dark. Your work has been essential, but unseen. Your own form has been shrouded in shadow, your own story unfolding in the dim periphery. You have become so accustomed to the darkness of the booth that you may have forgotten that you, too, are a part of this theater. You are not just the operator. You are a performer waiting for your cue. Tonight, the theater is empty. The audience has gone home. The other actors are at rest. And you are still there, high up in the booth, your hand on the lever that controls the light. This is a moment for a new kind of direction, a metaphorical transformation of attention and importance. Let's begin a guided visualization. Feel yourself there, in the quiet, dark booth. You can smell the faint scent of dust and old wood. You can feel the cool, smooth metal of the spotlight's controls beneath your fingertips. Below you, the stage is empty and silent. It holds the ghosts of 1,000 other stories. Now, with a gentle intention, you decide to do something you have never done before. You decide to move the light. Very slowly, you begin to guide the beam away from the center stage, that spot where you have so dutifully kept it focused for so long. The beam sweeps across the dusty floorboards, illuminating the forgotten corners of the stage. It is a slow, exploratory movement. There is no rush. You are simply seeing what has been in the shadows for all this time. The light continues its journey, moving off the stage entirely, and begins to climb up the far wall, up towards the balcony, and then up towards the control booth itself, towards you. There may be a moment of hesitation, a flicker of an old thought. The light isn't for me. My job is to shine it on others. Acknowledge that thought. It is the voice of the dedicated operator, the ghostwriter, the background character. Thank it for its diligence, and then gently continue. This is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of inclusion, an act of remembering that you too deserve to be seen. You continue to guide the light closer and closer until the beam is pointing directly at you in your small booth. And then you let it wash over you. A warm, soft, gentle glow. It is not a harsh, interrogating light. It is not a glaring, performance-demanding spotlight. It is the light of your own kind attention. It has the warmth of a summer afternoon, the softness of candlelight. Feel this warmth as it touches you. Feel the light of your own awareness falling upon your own form. For the first time, you are not just the source of the light. You are also the recipient. Feel its warmth on your face, on your hands, on your chest. Let it soak into you, like rain into thirsty earth. This warmth is a form of nourishment. It is a form of recognition. It is a silent, powerful message that says, I see you, you are here, and you are worthy of this light. Stay with this feeling for a few moments. The feeling of being illuminated by your own attention. There is nothing to do, nothing to prove. You do not have to perform for this light. You do not have to be interesting or witty or strong. You just have to be. You are the subject of a beautiful, still life painting. The light is simply revealing the truth that was already there. The unique lines of your face, the gentle curve of your shoulder, the steady, quiet presence of your being. In this light, you are not a background character. You are a masterpiece. This act of turning the light upon yourself is a practice you can return to anytime you feel yourself fading into the background. In any moment, you can pause, close your eyes and imagine taking control of that spotlight of your attention. You can choose to pull it away from the endless dramas of the world and shine it gently and lovingly upon yourself. You can ask, how am I feeling right now? What do I need in this moment? What is true for me right here? That is the practice of self-illumination. It is the foundation of a story that is centered in your own experience. As you rest here now, bathed in this warm inner glow, feel your body becoming heavy and soft. The light is not just on you, it is in you. It is filling you. It is dissolving the old, shadowy corners of self-neglect and filling them with the gentle, healing light of self-recognition. You are both the light and the one who is lit, the star and the sky that holds it. Rest now in this beautiful, self-sustaining glow. You are finally, peacefully illuminated. Bathed in the warm, gentle light of your own attention, you are present. You are seen. Now, let's deepen this experience by bringing it into the physical realm. The story of being a background character is not just a mental script. It is a physical reality. It is a way of holding the body, a way of moving through the world. We learn to make ourselves smaller, to take up less space, to hold our breath. Reclaiming your role as the protagonist is also a physical act. It is about breathing into your own space, embodying your presence without apology. Let's begin a body scan, but with a particular focus, the physical space you occupy. Your presence in the world is not just an idea. It is a solid, tangible fact. You have mass. You have volume. You displace the air around you. You are a physical event in the universe. Let's explore that truth with gentle curiosity. Bring your awareness to your breath, the constant, rhythmic exchange between your inner world and the world outside. Notice the air as it enters your nostrils or your mouth. It is a piece of the world, of the atmosphere that connects all living things. And for a moment, you are drawing it into yourself. You are taking it in. It is filling your lungs, expanding your chest, nourishing every cell in your body. Feel this expansion. With each inhale, you are quite literally taking up more space. Your chest rises, your ribs expand, your belly may soften and grow. This is a natural, life-sustaining movement. There is no aggression in it, no imposition. It is the simple, beautiful act of receiving what you need to live. Hold your attention on this feeling of expansion. For so long, you may have subtly contracted yourself, held yourself in. The breath is the antidote to this. Each inhale is a small, quiet declaration. I have a right to be here. I have a right to take in what I need. Now bring your awareness to the exhale. The breath leaves your body, warm and soft, carrying away what is no longer needed. It is a release, a letting go, a giving back to the world. But notice, even as you exhale and your body softens, you do not disappear. Your presence remains. The breath is a cycle of taking in and letting go, a beautiful rhythm of presence. Each breath is an affirmation of your place in the world, a quiet pulse that says, I am here. I am here. I am here. This is your space. This air, for this moment, is your air. Now let's expand this awareness of space to your entire body. Feel the physical outline of yourself. Where does your body end and the world begin? Feel the points of contact, the pressure of the mattress against your back, your legs, your arms, the weight of the blanket upon you. In these places, you are making a clear, undeniable impression on the world. You are here. The world knows you are here. It is rising up to meet you, to support you, to hold you. Feel this support. You are not floating in an empty void. You are held. Your presence is being actively supported by the world around you. Contemplate this idea. Taking up space is not an intrusion. It is your natural right. Think of a great ancient tree in a forest. It does not apologize for its size. It does not try to shrink its branches to make more room for the other trees. It simply grows, reaching for the sun, digging its roots deep into the earth. And in doing so, it creates a home for birds, shade for smaller plants, nourishment for the soil. Its full presence benefits the entire ecosystem. Your presence in the world is like this. When you allow yourself to fully occupy your own space, to take in the air you need, to stand firmly on the ground, you are not taking anything away from anyone else. You are simply inhabiting your natural, God-given place in the web of life. Let your body feel this truth now. Give yourself permission to feel heavy. Let go of any tension that is involved in holding yourself up or holding yourself in. Surrender your full weight to the surface beneath you. Imagine your body softening and spreading out just a little, like honey warming in the sun. Let your edges soften. Let yourself take up just a little more space. With each breath, feel yourself expanding, not with force, but with a gentle, confident allowing. You are breathing into your own space. You are claiming your physical territory with peace and quiet authority. Think of the space inside your body, the vast inner universe of your bones and muscles, your organs and blood vessels. It is a bustling, vibrant cityscape of life, all contained within the boundaries of your skin. This is your kingdom, and you are its gentle, benevolent ruler. By bringing your awareness inside, by breathing into this space, you are visiting your own kingdom, acknowledging its existence, honoring its life. You are being a present monarch, not an absent one. Your body is not just a vehicle to carry your head around. It is the physical manifestation of your story. It is the stage, and it deserves to be fully inhabited. So as you continue to rest, as you drift closer to the edge of sleep, let this be your final meditation, a physical and energetic embodiment of presence. Let go of the need to be small, to be unseen. In the safety of your own bed, in the quiet of this night, allow yourself to expand. Breathe deeply into your belly. Let your limbs feel long and heavy. Occupy your space with the quiet confidence of a mountain or a river. You are a part of this world, a vital, irreplaceable piece of its intricate puzzle, and your presence, in its fullness, is a gift. Let each breath be an affirmation of this truth, expanding your sense of self, gently, peacefully, and without apology. You are here. You are home. You are resting now in your own space, breathing into your own physical presence, illuminated by the gentle light of your own attention. You are at the center, and from this calm, grounded center, something wonderful can begin to happen. We can start to reimagine our relationships with the other people in our story. For so long, you have seen them as the stars, the protagonists you were meant to orbit. But what if we reframe that? What if we began to see them not as the stars you revolve around, but as the beloved, essential supporting cast in your own epic story? This is not about diminishing them or making them less important. It is about universal connection and a profound reframing of your place among them. A great protagonist is never truly alone. Their story is made rich and meaningful by the characters who surround them. The wise mentor, the loyal friend, the comic relief, the challenging rival. These characters are not distractions from the hero's journey. They are essential to it. They reveal the hero's strengths, challenge their weaknesses, and reflect back to them the parts of themselves they cannot see. The people in your life play these same vital roles for you. Think of someone in your life whom you have long considered a main character. Someone with a vibrant, powerful energy that you have often felt overshadowed by. In your old story, you were the quiet moon to their brilliant sun. Now, from this new, centered perspective, reimagine their role. See them as a crucial character in your narrative. Perhaps they are the catalyst, the one whose dramatic actions forced you to discover a strength you never knew you had. Perhaps they are the mentor, the one whose wisdom and experience provided a map when you were lost. Their powerful energy was not meant to diminish you, but to ignite something within you. Their story is not the story. It is a vital subplot that serves to illuminate your own journey. When you see it this way, a feeling of gratitude can arise. You can be thankful for their bright, shining energy, not because you need to live in its reflected light, but because it has helped you to find your own. You are no longer in competition for the spotlight. You have your own light, and their light simply adds to the beauty of the entire production. This reframing allows for deep love and connection without the sacrifice of your own narrative centrality. You can love them, admire them, and support them, not as an orbiting satellite, but as a fellow star in a shared constellation. Now think of another person, perhaps someone for whom you have felt a great deal of responsibility. Someone whose needs have often taken precedence over your own. In the old story, you are the tireless caregiver, the ever-present helper, your own needs a constant afterthought. Let's reimagine this role. In your story, this person is the character who teaches you about your own immense capacity for compassion. They are the one who reveals your incredible strength, your deep reserves of patience and love. They are the heart of your story, the character who grounds your heroic journey in love and service. But the caregiver also needs to be cared for. The protagonist must also have scenes where they rest and replenish. By seeing this person as a part of your story, you can also begin to write new scenes for yourself. Scenes where you receive care, where you set boundaries, where you honor your own needs as a vital part of the plot. What about the difficult people? The ones who have challenged you, hurt you, or stood in your way. In the old story, they were the villains, the antagonists who made your life harder. But in any great epic, the antagonist is one of the most important characters. The antagonist is the grit that creates the pearl. They are the dragon the hero must face to realize their own courage. They are the ones who force the protagonist to grow, to change, to become the person they were always meant to be. From this centered place, you can look back at these challenging figures and reframe their role. They were the shapers of your strength. They were the masters who delivered the difficult lessons. In your story, they were not the ones who held power over you. They were the ones who, inadvertently, showed you where your own true power lies. You can feel a sense of gratitude even for them, not for the pain they caused, but for the growth they instigated. They played their part, and now their scene is over. This is the beauty of being the protagonist of your own life. You begin to see that everyone and everything is here to serve your unfolding. This is not an arrogant or selfish perspective. It is a deeply spiritual one. It recognizes that your journey of awakening of coming home to yourself is your unique and sacred purpose. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has populated your world with the perfect cast of characters to help you on your way. The friend who makes you laugh is there to teach you about joy. The child who needs you is there to teach you about unconditional love. The boss who challenges you is there to teach you about your own resilience. Everyone is playing a role in the grand epic of your own becoming. As you rest here, ready for sleep, let this new perspective settle over you like a warm, comforting blanket. The people in your life are not the stars you must orbit. They are the beloved supporting cast, the co-stars in the beautiful, complex, and wondrous story of you. Hold them in your heart with a new kind of appreciation. See them for the gifts they bring to your narrative, and feel the deep, peaceful connection that comes from knowing you are all part of the same magnificent play, each playing your role perfectly. There is no hierarchy. There is just the story, unfolding. And you, finally, are at its heart, right where you have always belonged. From this centered place, seeing your world populated by a beloved supporting cast, we can deepen this meditative state even further. We can now fully step into the role of the creator. Let us embrace the quiet, calm confidence of the one who holds the pen, the author. An author does not just observe the story, they shape it. They do not just react to the characters, they understand their motivations on the deepest level. They hold the entire narrative in their hands, the past, the present, and the infinite possibilities of the future. Stepping into this role is not about controlling every little detail of your life. Life will always have its unexpected twists and turns. Rather, it is about embodying the gentle, overarching authority that decides the theme, the tone, and the pacing of your own experience. It is about knowing that no matter what happens on the page, you are the one who gets to write the next sentence. Feel this shift in your awareness. You are no longer just the actor on the stage, nor just the audience watching. You are moving into the writer's study. Imagine this space. It is quiet here, peaceful. There is a large, sturdy desk made of dark wood. On the desk, the book of your life lies open. A beautiful fountain pen rests beside it, its nib gleaming with fresh ink. Outside the window, the world continues its bustling activity, but in here, there is a profound stillness. This is the source. This is the creative center from which your story flows. From this vantage point, you have a new kind of power. Not the power of force, but the power of perspective. As the author, you understand that a good story needs variety. It needs scenes of high drama and scenes of quiet reflection. It needs moments of intense action and moments of peaceful rest. For a long time, you may have felt that your life was supposed to be a constant stream of action and achievement, driven by the plots of others. You tried to keep up, to play your part in their fast-paced narrative. But the author knows better. The author understands that a story with no quiet moments is just noise. It has no depth, no meaning. The pauses are where the significance sinks in. The chapters of rest are where the character integrates their lessons and prepares for what is to come. And so, as the author of your own life, you have the gentle authority to write in scenes of rest. Right now, you are writing one. This very moment of lying here, preparing for sleep, is not an absence of story. It is a deliberate and essential chapter. You, the author, have decided that your protagonist has been through enough for one day. They have learned, they have grown, they have interacted with their supporting cast, and now they need to rest. You are writing a scene titled "The Protagonist Finds Sanctuary." You are describing the feeling of the soft pillows, the weight of the warm blankets, the gentle rhythm of their breathing as they drift into a well-deserved sleep. You are writing a scene of profound self-compassion. Feel the calm confidence that comes with this role. As the author, you are never truly lost in the plot. Even when your character is facing a great challenge, you, the writer, know that this is just one chapter. You have the ultimate perspective. You know that this difficulty is serving a purpose in the larger narrative arc. This brings a sense of peace even to the most challenging of times. You can feel the fear or the sadness of your character, but you are also simultaneously the calm, wise author who knows that this scene, too, shall pass, and that the story will continue to unfold in beautiful and unexpected ways. You can hold your own experiences with this same dual awareness, feeling them fully, while also knowing from the author's chair that they are part of a much larger, purposeful story. Meditate now on the feeling of creative possibility. The page for tomorrow is blank, utterly, beautifully blank. As the author, you have the pen. What kind of scene will you write? You do not have to write a scene of dramatic, world-changing action. Perhaps you will write a quiet, gentle opening to the day. A scene where the protagonist wakes up slowly, stretches, and savors a warm drink while watching the morning light fill the room. A scene titled "A Moment of Quiet Gratitude." Or perhaps you will write a scene about connection, where the protagonist has a meaningful conversation with one of their beloved supporting characters. You have the power to set the tone. You can choose to write a day of frantic rushing, or you can choose to write a day of mindful presence. The choice is yours. The pen is in your hand. This does not mean denying the reality of your responsibilities. The author must still work within the genre of their story, but it means that you choose how your character approaches those responsibilities. Do they approach them with a sense of dread and obligation, or with a sense of purpose and quiet dignity? You write their inner monologue. You decide their attitude. You shape their experience from the inside out. This is your gentle, creative authority. It is the quiet power to narrate your own life, to find the meaning, to choose the theme. As you drift towards sleep, remain in this author's study. Feel the deep peace of this creative sanctuary. The story is in good hands. Yours. You can trust the process. You can trust the unfolding of the plot. And you can, most importantly, gift your main character, your precious, beloved self, with the rest and peace they so deeply need and deserve. You write the final sentence for today's chapter. And so, the hero, safe and sound, drifted into a deep and healing sleep, knowing that the story was far from over and that the best chapters were yet to be written. Good night, dear author. Your work for today is done, and it was magnificent. Here you are, in the author's quiet study, the pen resting gently in your hand. The book of your life lies open, and the chapter for today is drawing to a peaceful close. We have turned the camera, listened for the inner monologue, claimed the light, and stepped into our creative authority. It feels as though the story is building towards some grand climax, some dramatic event where the protagonist finally proves their worth to the world. But now, as the author, we are going to write a beautiful and unexpected plot twist, a twist of profound self-compassion. In most stories, The hero's journey involves an external quest. They must slay the dragon, find the treasure, win the kingdom. They must perform great deeds to prove they are worthy of being the main character. We have been conditioned to believe our own life story must follow this same script. We believe we must achieve something spectacular: the perfect career, the ideal relationship, a flawless body, a life of constant happiness, to finally earn the right to be the protagonist. We spend our lives striving, pushing, chasing a climax that always seems to be in the next chapter. But here, in the quiet wisdom of this pre-sleep state, you, the author, decide to write a different kind of story. The plot twist is this: the protagonist was never unworthy. The goal of the journey was never to achieve external validation. The true climax of this story is not a dramatic action, but a quiet, internal realization. It is the moment when the protagonist finally, unconditionally, accepts and loves the main character exactly as they are. Right now, in this moment, without changing a single thing. This is the most radical plot twist of all. The story is not about becoming someone else. It is about coming home to the person you have always been. The dragon you were meant to slay was never out there in the world. It was the inner voice of criticism, the belief that you were not enough. The treasure you were seeking was not a chest of gold. It was the quiet jewel of self-acceptance already resting in your own heart. The kingdom you were meant to win was not a piece of land. It was the peaceful kingdom of your own mind and body. The climax is not a bang. It is a whisper. A gentle, loving whisper from you to you saying, "You are enough, just as you are." Let this realization be the theme of this chapter, the one you are writing as you drift into sleep. Let it permeate every word, every feeling, all the parts of you that you have kept in the background, all the qualities you have deemed not good enough for a main character, your insecurities, your fears, your quirks, your mistakes. The author now writes them into the light, not as flaws, but as essential, beautiful, and interesting aspects of a complex and relatable protagonist. A hero with no vulnerabilities is not a hero. They are a cartoon. Your perceived imperfections are what make you real. They are what make your story compelling. They are what allow for true connection. As the author, you now write a scene of radical self-acceptance. You describe your protagonist, you, resting in bed. You do not list their accomplishments. You do not focus on their potential for tomorrow. You simply describe them in this moment with profound, unconditional love. You write about the way their body breathes, a miracle of unconscious rhythm. You write about the history held in their hands, the joys and sorrows they have touched. You write about the courage it has taken for them to simply live, to keep going, to arrive at this very moment of rest. You write about them as you would write about a character you have fallen completely in love with, a character you want the whole world to cherish as you do. And as you write this loving description, you can introduce a mantra for sleep, a simple, powerful truth that your protagonist can carry with them into the dream world. The mantra is this: my story is worthy. I am worthy. Let these words be the last lines of today's chapter. Let them echo gently in the quiet study of your mind. My story is worthy. I am worthy. Feel the truth of these words. Your story, with all its quiet moments, its messy scenes, its unwritten pages, and its beautiful, vivid details, is worthy of being told. It is as worthy as any epic, as any bestseller, as any blockbuster film, because it is real. It is human. It is yours. And you, the main character of this worthy story, are inherently worthy. Your worth is not conditional. It does not depend on your productivity, your appearance, your popularity, or your success. It is your birthright. It is the simple, unshakable fact of your existence. You are a unique expression of life, a configuration of atoms that has never been before and will never be again. You are a walking, breathing miracle. You are worthy. Let this feeling of worthiness be the final resolution of today's narrative arc. The protagonist set out feeling like a background character, and through a journey of gentle inner discovery, has arrived at this profound climax of self-acceptance. They did not need to change the world. They just needed to change their own mind about themselves. This is the greatest victory. This is the truest happy ending, which is not an ending at all, but a new beginning. A beginning of a life lived from a place of inner fullness, rather than a place of striving to become worthy. Rest in this victory. Let the feeling of your own worthiness settle deep into your bones, into your heart, into every cell of your being. The plot twist has been revealed. The hero's true nature has been understood. My story is worthy. I am worthy. Now rest. The hero deserves their peace. The great plot twist has been revealed. The climax of your story for today was not a loud battle, but a quiet, profound realization of your own worthiness. You are the author. You are the protagonist, and you are worthy. Now, the narrative begins to slow. The pacing changes. We are entering the final scenes of today's chapter, the part of the story where we begin fading into the dreamscape. In a film, this is the moment when the camera pulls back, the music softens, and the scene dissolves into the next. The descriptions become softer, more impressionistic, more dreamlike. The sharp focus on details begins to blur, giving way to a gentle wash of feeling and sensation. The conscious work of reclaiming your story is done for today. Now begins the sacred, unconscious work of integration. We are handing the story over to a different kind of author now, the wise, mysterious author of the subconscious mind. Imagine the ink on the last page you wrote, "I am worthy," is still wet. As you fall asleep, you are gently closing the book, allowing the opposite page to press against it. The words transfer, creating a mirror image, an impression that sinks deep into the paper. Sleep is this process. It is the time when the conscious realizations of the day are pressed into the deep pages of our being. We do not need to force this. We do not need to understand it. We simply need to allow it. We trust the magic of the book, the alchemy of the night. The focus now shifts from the conscious act of writing your story to the gentle act of becoming it. The ideas we have explored, the turning of the camera, the listening to your own voice, the shining of your own light, are now seeds that you have planted in the fertile soil of your mind. Sleep is the gentle, nourishing rain that will fall upon this garden all night long. While you are resting, these seeds will begin to germinate, to send down roots, to connect with the deep wisdom that already resides within you. The transformation continues even when you are not aware of it. In fact, it deepens. The conscious mind can build the house, but the subconscious mind is what turns that house into a home. It weaves the threads, connects the dots, and creates the rich inner tapestry of belief. Let your awareness become diffuse, like moonlight spreading across a landscape. Let go of the sharp focus on any one thought or idea. Allow your mind to drift and wander. The narrative voice, my voice, will become softer now, with more space between the words, creating a gentle rhythm that can carry you into sleep. The details of the story begin to blur. The faces of the supporting cast soften and fade. The sturdy desk of the author's study dissolves into a soft, comfortable cloud. Everything becomes gentle. Everything becomes easy. Think of the dreamscape as a vast, magical library. All night long, your subconscious mind, the master librarian, will be at work. It will take the story you have written today and find the perfect place for it on the shelves of your soul. It might file the chapter on self-compassion right next to a forgotten childhood memory of being held and comforted. It might take the idea of the supporting cast and connect it to your deepest feelings of love and gratitude. This librarian works in a symbolic, poetic language. It speaks in images, in feelings, in strange and beautiful metaphors. You do not need to understand its filing system. You just need to trust that it is organizing your inner world for your highest good. It is integrating the new story, making it a part of your permanent collection. As you drift, you might catch glimpses of this process, fragments of images, snippets of feeling, echoes of words. Let them come and go without trying to hold on to them or make sense of them. You are watching the librarian at work from a great distance. You are a sleepy observer of your own inner magic. The boundary between your story and the great, universal story begins to dissolve. Your breath merges with the gentle wind outside your window. Your heartbeat finds the rhythm of the distant stars. You are no longer just a single character, but a part of the vast, dreaming consciousness of the world. Sleep is the ultimate act of trust. It is the moment when the author lays down the pen and trusts that the story has a life of its own. It is a surrender, a letting go of control. And in this surrender, a deeper wisdom takes over. The body knows how to heal itself while you sleep. The mind knows how to sort and process. The soul knows how to connect with its source. You have done your part. You have set the intention. You have written a beautiful, powerful chapter. Now, you can release it. Let it go. Let it become part of the great mystery. The story is now in the hands of the night. And the night is a wise and gentle author. It will take what you have created and make it even more beautiful, more true, more deeply a part of you. Fade now. Drift now. Let the pages turn on their own. The edges of your awareness are soft now, like a watercolor painting left out in a gentle rain. The narrative has slowed to a near standstill. We are arriving at the final scene of this chapter, the protagonist at rest. Imagine you are watching the end of a long and beautiful film. The great journey has been undertaken. The profound realization has dawned. The hero has faced their inner dragon and found not a monster to be slain, but a part of themselves to be understood and integrated. The climax was quiet, internal, and it has changed everything. Now, the camera slowly pushes in on the final scene. There is no more dialogue. The musical score has faded to a single, soft, sustained note. The scene is simple. It is the protagonist, the main character of the story, finally, peacefully, asleep. See this character in your mind's eye. See yourself. The camera frames the shot with immense tenderness and respect. It lingers on the face, completely relaxed in slumber. The lines of worry around the eyes have softened. The tension in the jaw has released. The breath is a slow, deep, and steady rhythm, the gentlest of percussion in the deep silence of the night. This is a scene of immense peace. It is the visual representation of the story's resolution. The inner battle is over. The striving has ceased. All that is left is a state of being, a state of pure, unconditional rest. Understand that this rest is not an absence of story. It is not an intermission. It is a necessary and beautiful chapter in itself. In this chapter, the hero is not fighting or searching or striving. They are healing. They are integrating. They are becoming. The adventure is turning inward, transforming from a story of doing into a story of being. This sleep is the quiet alchemy that transmutes the lead of yesterday's struggles into the gold of tomorrow's wisdom. Every slow breath is a line of poetry in this chapter. Every gentle beat of the heart is a word of peace. The narrative voice, my voice, is becoming very slow now. The pauses between my words are growing longer, creating more space for you to drift away. My words are just a soft current, gently nudging your boat away from the shore of wakefulness and out into the vast, calm ocean of sleep. Let each word be a soft blanket, tucking you in more deeply. Let each silence be a permission to let go even more. The protagonist is resting. Their body is heavy and still. Gravity is a gentle hand, holding them securely. The bed is a safe harbor, a sanctuary. The darkness behind their eyelids is not empty. It is a rich, velvety canvas upon which the dreams will soon begin to paint their mysterious and beautiful pictures. Every great story understands the importance of rest. The warrior must sleep in their tent before the great battle. The wizard must rest in their tower after casting a powerful spell. The lover must sleep, dreaming of their beloved. Rest is the punctuation of a well-told tale. It is the full stop at the end of a long sentence, allowing the meaning to land. It is the turning of the page, creating anticipation for what comes next. Your sleep, right now, is this sacred punctuation. You are honoring the story of your day by giving it this peaceful, definitive ending. Feel yourself becoming this resting protagonist. Feel the story of your day, all the thoughts, the feelings, the interactions, gently dissolving. They are becoming part of your history, part of the great book that has already been written. You no longer need to carry them. You can set them down. The author has finished their work. The actors have taken their bows. The crew has gone home. The theater is dark and quiet. The only thing left is the deep, profound, and healing silence. Your only task now is to surrender to this silence, to allow this chapter of rest to unfold in its own perfect time, to trust that the story is continuing, even in stillness, especially in stillness. You are the protagonist at rest, the hero in repose. And this scene, this moment of complete and total peace, is the most beautiful and important scene of all. It is the happy ending of today. Let go, now. Drift away. The story will be here when you return. For now, just rest. The theater is dark. The protagonist is at rest. The silence is deep and complete. All that remains is the final, softest whisper before the story fades entirely into the dreamscape. This is not an ending. It is a pause. A sacred breath in the midst of a grand unfolding narrative. The story does not end when you fall asleep. It simply changes form. It moves from the conscious prose of your waking mind to the deep, symbolic poetry of your dreams. The transformation continues in the quiet dark. What wonders will the author of your dreams write for you tonight? What strange, and beautiful landscapes will your protagonist explore? Perhaps you will dream of flying, a visceral reminder of your own freedom and limitless potential. Perhaps you will dream of finding a hidden room in a familiar house, a symbol of the undiscovered parts of yourself that are now ready to be known. Perhaps you will dream of speaking a new language fluently, your subconscious mind showing you that you already possess a voice you have yet to fully use. Trust the dreams. They are the next chapter, written in a language of metaphor and magic. They are continuing the work, weaving the threads of your new story into the very fabric of your being. The story does not end. It simply pauses. Think of the moon. To our eyes, it disappears from the sky each morning, but we know it has not ceased to exist. It is simply following its own cosmic rhythm, its own great story arc, unseen by us for a time. Your conscious awareness is like the sun, illuminating one part of your story. Sleep is like the turning of the earth, bringing the gentle, intuitive, and mysterious light of the moon to illuminate another part. Both are essential. Both are part of the whole. So you can release now, completely. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to figure out. You have written a beautiful chapter today. You have planted the seeds of self-recognition and self-worth. You have given your story a new direction. Now, you must give it the one thing that will make it all real, the gift of time and rest. Growth cannot be rushed. A story cannot be forced. The most profound transformations happen in the quiet, in the stillness, in the patient dark, just like a seed deep within the earth. Let this final thought be a gentle release, a final soft permission to let go completely. Sleep is the ultimate act of trust in your own story. It is the faith that the sun will rise again. It is the quiet confidence that the author will be there in the morning to pick up the pen. It is the profound knowing that when you wake, a new, unwritten scene awaits. What will it hold? What small, vivid detail will you notice first? What quiet, authentic thought will be your first narration of the day? We do not know. And that is the beauty of it. The story is alive. It is not a fixed and finished thing. It is a breathing, evolving masterpiece, and you are its heart. Surrender to the pause. Let the curtain fall on today. Let the deep, healing silence wash over you. The transformation is happening. The story is deepening. All is well. When you wake, a new, unwritten page will be waiting, and you will be ready.